Thank you for having me.
You told me just backstage that you are a little bit bubbly and that you tend to talk a lot.
Yes, I'm hoping to control that here.
Okay, well, we have 17 minutes, and apparently the clock is already ticking.
Super.
So, what do you want the audience to remember about?
Apart from that, I said that I talk a lot. Well, I want to talk about what we do for energy efficiency and the kind of projects that we're currently doing and what it could lead to in the future and what that means for the world. So I think I would like to talk about that, definitely. I hope, if any takeaway, that's this.
Well, when I did a little bit of research on you, apparently you conceptualized the measurement of urban heat vulnerability index, which is actually mentioned in the European Handbook for SDG Voluntary Local Reviews in 2020. So are there other things that you have done or that you have achieved or that are really unique to the way that you think when you, because I know you're very much specialized in urban heat. And I mean, as you also said, you know, right now we have 4.4 million inhabitants living in a city, but by 2050, you have actually counted that maybe 7 out of 10 people might be living in cities. So how do you see the future for the cities?
Well, cities are important because they're not only where people, most of the people are going to be living, but they're also the hive of socioeconomic activities and also cultural activities. So as cities grow, so does the requirement for the implementation of smart infrastructure in there so that we can live in cities in comfortable, efficient way and improve productivity. And that's good for the global economy in general. In order to do that, a lot of design, like urban design related things need to adapt to the new generation. Right now, I mean, I consider it as the age of smart cities, where you have all kinds of smart applications which are designed to make the quality of life in cities much better, and it's only going to get better and better and better in the upcoming years. So hopefully we'll have, what I would like to see is cities having the potential to provide very high quality of life for the future populations of the world, and that's good for the world economy as well.
And what are examples for you of a good quality of life in the city?
Well, there's two elements. One is the outdoor side, and one is the indoor side. So, outdoor, if you like, you know, having a lot of blue-green infrastructure, because as I deal with extreme heat, this is a serious challenge that all cities in the world are facing, especially now more than ever. Developing resiliency to all impacts of climate change through nature-based solution is something that we, in my field of work, promote a lot, and it works. That's the outdoor side. So as outdoor environments develop, so does social cohesion, and it just makes city life very good, very nice. And indoors is where, like, humans have built buildings and are continuing to build buildings to provide an environment where it can control a little bit of the immediate climate, like we are here, we're, you know, air conditioned and everything, we're good. And that also will improve due to the development of something that we work with called smart buildings, where all, like, tech is kind of helping humans to have a very good life inside the buildings as well, through all the appliances and everything. And of course, good high energy efficiency is important for that as well, because you don't want to waste enough energy, and you certainly don't want to release as much carbon and, you know, carbon dioxide and everything in the atmosphere and perpetuate climate change. So that's a combination, like indoor-outdoor comfort together, good urban lifestyle. That's what I would say.
You were educated in France, I saw, in Nantes?
Yes, I studied my master's in central Nantes. Yeah.
But you're living in Czech Republic right now.
Yeah, in Prague.
And what's the reason for that move?
Well, actually, it was, you know, in France you have this opportunity to do your last semester as an internship or a master's thesis. So I was looking for a place to basically continue on with my work, because I studied urban environment, the science of urban environment, and I wanted to work in that field as well. And it was actually a little difficult to find the right place. Most of them are research, but this is a startup. I'm like, okay, that's an interesting journey. I didn't quite see that it was in Prague at the time when I applied, but then I did. And I'm like, okay, so I'm moving out to another country, and that's always exciting. So I went there, and it was fantastic. I'm still there, like, you know. So hopefully we'll be there to continue.
Wonderful. Are you able to tell us a little bit more about ECOTEN, the company that you co-founded? Because it's an urban environmental consultant. Maybe tell us a little bit about the kind of clients that you have. And I also saw that you won some prizes with ECOTEN. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So there are actually two ECOTENs. One is the ECOTEN Urban Comfort, which is, again, dealing with outdoor comfort. We specialize in using satellite data as well as simulation results to improve the quality of life and increase resiliency to extreme heat in the outdoor urban environment, so basically build comfortable urban environments. And the other company, which is what we call ECOTEN Smart Energy Solutions, where we focus on the indoor, where we are working on developing smart buildings through smart ventilation, smart building materials, artificial intelligence being used for like HVAC, effective HVAC, utilities, greenery, etc. So like that's focused on building the the building side. So we do both of them, and yeah, we usually work with city planners, city municipalities, as well as in the private sector, architects, civil engineers, basically anybody who's working with making buildings in urban areas. We work with them and we consult them. Yeah.
I also read that you are very much specialized in the use of nature-based solutions to mitigate the impact of climate change. Can you maybe give a couple of examples of that?
Well, what we do is we have a software that allows us to predict how different nature-based solution, what I call the blue-green infrastructure, behaves and which one performs better than the other. And this is important because we can't just put trees, because trees are like the main instrument for cooling, bringing down temperature through nature-based solution. We can't just put trees everywhere, because if you do that, first of all, they're expensive. They need maintenance, and it takes a while for a tree to grow. So you have to be economic on that. And so what we do is we use our software to predict that this place, if you put the trees here, it's better than putting trees in some other place. So therefore, you're basically it's a decision-making tool that helps city planners and urban designers to identify which parts of the cities they should put all the blue-green infrastructure. So trees, parks, green roofs, green walls, water bodies like small water bodies, fountains, humidifiers, all of this, how to put them in the right way to maximize the cooling impact, basically.
Okay. So you're basically saying that the mission of the company also is that you have a data-driven approach. Do you feel that there's still a lot of ignorance within cities and city planners and that you're also able to educate people?
Well, we're trying to do that now because we are currently in a Horizon project where we are trying to reevaluate how to implement data-driven approaches for problems like climate change. And I think that this is, from the development of data side, like right now, we have so much data and they could be used very much. But it seems like when it comes to implementing these data, we sometimes lack the knowledge of how to effectively use this data to improve the quality of life, and also to basically go further as well. Like what more data do we need to make life better for cities as well as for buildings? So yeah, in general, like it's an ongoing process, and we are. I think that we will be able to properly use them, but it requires some steps to go forward. But we'll get there. Yeah,
okay.
I sincerely believe that.
So one of the talking points you mentioned is that you want to talk about smart buildings and renovating existing buildings. What is the project that you're most proud of, or which was most innovative?
Well, it's hard to pick on one.
Oh, you can.
Well, I will start. I want to share about the smart building project that we made. In Prague, we renovated a building. It's actually a high school. And we have changed it's a very old building, and we have put in a lot of smart technologies to help the building to become carbon positive and energy positive, so it generates energy and it is able to, like on an annual basis, it's able to produce energy and give it back to the grid. So that's definitely a very good thing because there's a lot of, through the use of solar energy and everything. And what that does is that not only does it generate energy, but it can also sell energy back to the grid. So thanks to the help of like machines and like digital tools and everything, the building will actually know when the price of the energy is high and it's the best time to sell it. The building will sell it on the right time. So that's good for the life cycle as well as the economy of the building. Beyond that, as schools, we know that there are going to be classes, there are going to be lectures, and then the times of those lectures, we put that data into the mainframe, and then now all the classrooms which are going to have classes at a certain time, they will the HVAC system is set up so that it will like make the comfort level very good for that specific room, simply for just that class, and then all the others, well, all the other non-used rooms will become dormant. So in other words, every aspect of energy efficiency that a building can have, we managed to do it. So that's for us, like really it's a proud moment for us. And this started this year, so now also the building is predicting how the energy will, like how much energy will be used for the next following days based on weather prediction system. So it kind of behaves according to the weather as well. So this is definitely one of our proudest moments, and I think I'll speak on behalf of our CEO. He's like, it's his baby, you could say. So, so yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of our proud projects. Beyond that, we've also, from the urban comfort side, we've done several projects for urban development in Prague as well as in other places. We've developed several maps using satellite images to help identify vulnerable spots in the cities. So far, 3 governments, we have 3 city municipalities, Vienna, Prague, and Helsinki, and we're hoping to work for more with the heat vulnerability. That's very exciting because space is always exciting, and bringing data from space is personally exciting for me as well. So, yeah.
What I love to hear is that you are talking about the human factor, because I mean, people often forget, but it's not only about the building, it's also how the people interact with the building. I mean, coming from the Netherlands, I'm certain you've probably heard of the Edge. They created the most sustainable building, I think, almost worldwide.
Yeah,
like Koen van Oostrom, and I remember every time when I come there, I enter a room and the light turns on, and the moment I leave, and it's like all these ways of thinking, use of lots of glass, which is good for your mental state, to have light and everything.
Yeah, I think the Edge is like inspirational building in terms of smart building. So I think it's quite an example to bring for this. Hopefully more buildings will pop up from like the Edge.
Yeah, exactly. So you want to create more human-centric energy activities for buildings?
So yeah, I think like usually when we go and talk to people about sustainability and also energy efficiency, we often pop up words like carbon footprint and lower emissions and all that, and that's all fine. But I think it's important to not put too much over focus on the technical side. Rather, keep in mind that all of the buildings and all this smart energy and carbon footprint, it's for the humans who are living there as users of the buildings who need to benefit. So that, I think, sometimes gets left out a little bit because we're very proud of the technical advancements that we make, and we sometimes forget about the human side. So when it comes to buildings and all the appliances that you put, it's very important to take into account that every human has some requirements, and the building should answer to the requirements of the humans. Not everybody, some people like hot, some people like cold. It should be variable, and the utility of the building should also be flexible, so that it can accommodate whichever humans will use that building for whatever purpose. So designs, policies as well, but building design, the HVAC, the civil engineering, environmental engineering side should keep that in mind when they're building at least new buildings or refurbishing existing buildings as well. So I think that's a message. That's a message I would like to show as well to here.
Oh, the screen is off. So what are the plans with ECOTEN? I mean, what's the future?
Well, so right now we are calling ourselves urban environment consultancy. I sincerely believe that we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are at the age of smart cities and smart technologies. So I want to work more towards using these technological advancements to figure out a way to improve the quality of life in cities in whichever way. So we're already using 2. There are many more that are coming up. I would like to support that. And I always say for ECOTEN, we want to be the science and technology. Well, so right now we say we are the science behind the policies that governments take. We want to be the science and technology behind the governments and the policies that the governments make. So yeah, that's our idea. And also we want to kind of go into the artificial intelligence. That's definitely something that's coming up. Everybody here knows that, I guess. So that would be our way forward, at least for now, and hopefully we'll get there.
And now from my diversity and inclusion point of view, how many women do you have working in the company?
We have right now, I think more than, we have a small team. So
How many people are you?
we are around 7 people, and out of which 4 are women. So
Well done.
yeah,
That's right.
we're expanding, and we're hoping for more to come. So yeah, we're very open, and we have also a very international team. Everybody is from some or the other place and stuff. So we have a very exciting time with each other, and we learn a lot actually from each other, from work and personal as well. So we love that diversity.
Well, we have 1 minute, 30 minutes left, 30 seconds left. Anything you want the audience to remember about you?
I hope that we will, as I mentioned earlier, I hope that we will build more comfortable urban areas as well as buildings, and hopefully more and more people will love being in cities, because cities are really wonderful places to be. And provided that they work very efficiently, all the different elements of the cities should work very well. So I hope that we can support that, and that's what I want people to remember. Cities are fantastic. We want to support it. That's it.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with all of us.
Thank you so much.